And then Matt Wiggins says, I'd like to hear Rip's thoughts regarding nuclear energy. It ain't squats for FAVs. Everybody keeps spelling that. FAHVES. Where did that start?
I don't know.
Do you remember where that started?
No.
My thoughts regarding nuclear energy. Well,
The reason it's not widespread is because it works too damn well.
it's a threat to several other industries, and that have apparently been paying off the feds much more lucratively than has the nuclear power industry.
Right.
Nuclear power industry needs to get its shit together and start mailing out checks and get this over with, because I can't think of a single reason why nuclear power in 2025 is not the predominant form of energy generation in the United States.
Because everybody points to the one time it went really bad. Technically 2 times.
Well, nothing bad has ever happened with oil, right? I mean,
Right, well,
there
exactly,
hasn't been
right,
massive
right,
oil
yeah,
spills,
right.
fucking multi-year wars.
Yeah, right.
No, all good.
It's just this is not logic.
Right.
So when logic fails to explain, what's the next thing you have to look at?
Right.
The money.
Money, yeah.
The money. That's what you have to look at. Because it's not logical that nuclear energy is not the primary source of
Well, and the average
power in the United States.
and the average person looks at a nuclear facility and they get scared because of education. They have not been
because of the media.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because of the media, who has educated them to think that they're going to blow up.
Yeah.
And, look, Europe has been using nuclear energy for a very long time. And there's never been a problem.
Well, there's nuclear reactors all over the place.
There's nuclear reactors
at colleges.
all over
and
the
nobody's-
place. There are nuclear reactors that are working perfectly, efficiently, and cleanly.
When's the last time
we
there was
already know how to dispose of nuclear
When's the
waste?
last time there was a nuclear accident on a naval ship? I mean, if there has been, they do a good job of keeping it fucking quiet.
Yep.
But
I've never heard of
We've been
one.
using nuclear energy in ships for how long? 40 years?
Yeah, long,
50,
long
60
time.
years? A long fucking time.
Ships and submarines.
So why is there not
Long-ass
why is
time.
there not a nuclear reactor in like every neighborhood?
Right.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know, except that
Except
Texas Electric doesn't want there to be
well,
one,
that's exactly
Yeah.
right.
because they've got all this money invested in, natural gas and
Coal.
oil and coal. And, I understand, but let's not pretend that nuclear power is not a viable source of electricity, because it is. It obviously is. So why isn't it being utilized? It's got to do with the money.
What if that's what's
That's always what it is.
What if that is what aliens are waiting for us to do? Just have a bunch of nuclear reactors so they know that we have clean energy.
And then what?
And then they're like,
they'll be
oh,
friends with us?
And then they'd be like, oh, they figured it out.
Ah.
They figured it out.
Oh,
we already
what
have
they
we
always
already have a
fall
bunch of
back
nuclear
on,
reactors.
what do you do with the nuclear waste? That's the fallback argument. Well, God, this creates all this nuclear waste.
Well, there's very
And
little nuclear
that
waste
has
at this
been-
point. It's all recycled.
It's
Very little. It's not like
It's either recycled or in the worst case scenario, and I've mentioned this before, I watched an episode of 60 Minutes a long, long time ago, 35 years ago, that illustrated a perfect way to dispose of nuclear waste. And what they do is they take the nuclear material and they pour it into a form. They make a concrete, with like 12-inch walls of concrete. They put the nuclear waste in there, and then they finish pouring the concrete over the top of it, and it becomes shaped like a torpedo. It's got a point on it and fins on the back. You take it out into the middle of the Pacific Ocean over the abyssal plain, which has got a layer of ooze, mud, say 30 feet deep, and you drop these little torpedo-shaped containers of nuclear waste over the side. And they fall down through the water column and bury themselves in the mud for the rest of time. And they can't be retrieved because nobody knows where they are. And why would you want to try to retrieve them? Because it's easier to just make new. But at any rate, they become inert. They're functionally inert, and it puzzles me why this is not an ongoing situation.
Well, either way, the ongoing global war on terror. At one point, I remember $20 billion a week was being spent.
Mm-hmm.
On the global war on terror?
Yeah, by the United States. For $20 billion a week, could you not fucking figure out the engineering problem? I think so. If you wanted to.
That would be like a real problem, wouldn't it? I mean, if
like
you
something
could,
to actually fix.
But I mean,
you come up with two ships whose dedicated purpose is dropping these things off the stern of the boat out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And they run out there on a regular shuttle schedule, drop their torpedoes into the water column, bury them in the mud, turn around, come back, and get the next load.
But here's the thing. That's not as big a problem anymore because we are so efficient at recycling this material. The French have an entire industry dedicated to sending these recycled rods to other countries.
If you can recycle it, that's obviously
my point is that whatever the downsides are, if nuclear waste is the problem, there's already a fuck ton of waste occurring with fossil fuels.
Yes. Yeah.
Join us this week on Starting Strength Radio. We're going to do one of our famous paper Q&As where you send us questions. We print them out on our copy machine. We lay them on this desk. I pick them up and I read them. And I attempt to make sense out of your inane ramblings. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you're interested in seeing the times that it does, you join us this Friday on Starting Strength Radio.